Hey guys, welcome back. So in the last videos, we have been talking about what is a queue and why do we need to learn it. Hope you have understood the queue on a very high level. Now let's see what are the standard operations that can be performed on a queue data structure. So basically these are the 7 operations that can be performed on a queue data structure. That is, first we can create a queue, we can insert some data in a queue, extract some data in a queue, pick some element in a queue, check if the queue is empty or not, if it is full or not, and finally we can delete the queue. Now before we go deep into all these operations, we need to see that what are the implementation options that we have. Now why do we need to know that? That is because depending on how we are going to implement the queue, the definition of some of these operations will change a little bit. For example, if you are implementing it using a linked list, isFull operation will not be required at all. Similarly, there will be little bit variations for create queue, enqueue, dequeue and so on. So we'll see all of them one by one. So when it comes to implementations, a queue can be implemented in two ways. It can be done using an array or it can be done using a linked list. Now if you want to implement it using an array, we have two types of queue, linear queue and circular queue. So there are certain shortcomings in linear queue which we are going to see in some time, which are overcome using a circular queue. So we need to learn both the types of queue. But when it comes to linked list, we only have linear queue. We don't have a concept of circular queue. Why is that? We'll see that in some time. So now if we see how does a typical queue looks like when implemented using an array. So it will look like this. So here basically we have an array and we have some items in this array. And as you can see, we have some blank spaces as well. So we can insert some element and we can also dequeue some of the element. Similarly, if we implement a queue using a linked list, a typical linked list will look something like this. Each number will have one node assigned to it. So we have number 10 over here, number 20 over here, 30 here and so on. Now how to create all these things? We will talk about it in lot of details in some time. Fine. So now that we have understood the agenda of the chapter, let's learn the first queue, that is linear queue using an array implementation. Now as we already told that these are the 7 operations that can be performed on a queue, irrespective of how do we want to implement it. With an exception, like for example isFull is not applicable for linked list and there are other small changes here and there. So let's see all these operations one by one using array implementation. So the first operation is a creation of a queue, which is very simple. All that we do is we just create a blank array of the length as given by the user, which we have taken here, and then we take two variables called top of queue and beginning of queue, and we initialize both of them to -1. If we can do that, we are done with creation of a blank linear queue. Now if we see the time and space complexity of this algorithm, both these operations will take constant time, so the time complexity is order 1. Space complexity will be order of n because we are creating a blank array of size n and that will take order of n space. Fine, so that is all about how to create a queue. Now let's see how we can insert a data in a queue. Now as we already spoke in the introductory video, that queue works with FIFO method, that is first in first out method. That means if this is our queue, so if let's say we insert 10, then we insert 20, 30, then what goes out from this queue will not be 30 or 20. First always 10 will go out, then 20 and then 30. Similarly, the same rule applies for insertion. That is, the insertion will always happen at the end of the queue. So let's say if you want to insert 40, so we cannot insert 40 in between 10-20 or 20-30 or before 10. The only place where we can insert new number is at the end of the queue, which is here. Similarly, if you want to insert one more number, we insert at the end of the queue here. And that's the same thing we are doing here in this algorithm. That is, we are first checking if the queue is full. Then we simply return an error message because we don't have anything to do in that case. Else, we will go to top of queue. Now what is top of queue? Top of queue is a variable which typically points to the last cell used in the queue. So in this case, this is the last cell which is being used. So top of queue will right now point here. So if you want to insert, let's say 60, what it will do? It will say top of queue plus 1. That means it will go to the next cell and insert 60 over there. And of course we have to increase the variable's value as well. So now let's say if you want to insert one more number, 70, then again it will go here, top of queue plus 1. Top of queue is here, it will go to the next cell, put 70 over here, and it will increase top of queue's value. Now let's say if you want to insert one more number, let's say 80. So as we can see, this queue right now is full. So in that case, the control will come over here, it will get satisfied, it will simply throw an error message saying that the queue is full. So the insertion operation of a queue is as simple as that. All that we have to do is, we have to just go to the end of the queue and keep adding value over there. Now let's see what is the time and space complexity of this algorithm. So as you would have guessed, all these operations are constant time operations. So time complexity is order of 1. Space complexity is also order 1 because we are not using any extra space. The existing array only, we are reusing it to update one of the cells out there. So space complexity remains order 1. Fine. So I hope you have understood the enqueue operation. Now in the next video, let's see how to dequeue an element from a linear queue.